second time's a charm, but I think we got it, Bob.
Sometimes these details just slip us.
We've all watched streams. We know what's happening.
One of my favorite chat shows on the YouTubes for the longest time, he ran it for like 4 years. He started every show for the entire run. We're not ready.
No, yeah. I think preparedness is the first step to failure. Speaking of which, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. I got a coffee. I got a tool changer, and I'm super excited. Bringing up the chat right now. I believe YouTube has now caught up to the real times.
I also have a coffee, and you have my tool changer.
I do, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Sorry for the distractions here, folks. I'm just trying to make sure I got all the things where the things need to be. Okay, there's so many things are popping up all over. Discord's going crazy. It's a thing. You'd think I went live on YouTube or something.
I've heard tell that happens occasionally.
I've heard tell that it happens occasionally as well. So I see some names in the chat. I think we need to say hi to some of our friends here. We've got Thaneth, we've got Fernando and Grant from 3D Musketeers and Duff.
Don't miss our favorite Viking.
Oh, Viking, yes, absolutely Viking, and unfortunately a llama. Wells Flick, hello, welcome. I think I saw
Carson's in there.
Rain as well. Somebody from the E3D group that said if I need help, just reach out. So be on standby. That might be a thing. And for the remainder of the show, hashtag Bob was robbed is 100% a thing. And that just kind of happens sometimes.
It does.
But now it's a thing.
Now it's a thing.
Oh, I'm excited, dude. I'm ready.
Well then.
Hey, Ransom makes Mr. Jeffrey Wright. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
If you're ready, you'll have to put down the coffee cup and start grabbing parts.
No, don't make me put down the coffee cup.
Well, you've been jonesing to start this thing for like a week, dude. So
I know, but I think a little background information is maybe a good idea.
Sure.
So for those who don't know, E3D, through our good friends over at the East Coast RepRap Festival, ERRF 2021, because of all the global climate and everything, it was just better to not have an in-person thing this year. So instead, we went virtual yet again, a little bit different than last year. And they ran some amazing contests. They ran the contest that I was in and also Bob for the E3D Toolchanger. There was another contest. Multicolor prints, yeah, and we'll get to that in a moment. They had a win a Prusa MK3 first prize and some filament second prize and stuff for a maker
coins.
Yep, that was a good one. There was a third contest for Jesse PLA from our good friends over at Printed Solid, and Brian Vines, awesome dude, friend, won 20 kilograms of Jesse PLA. 20. Like that.
He should be set for a little while.
He was saying he was running a little low.
Prints in motion.
Prints in motion. And that one was really cool. That one, the particular caveat with that one is that you had to design the product yourself, which really did open it up to some really creative and imaginative designs. And the fourth contest was from Proto Pasta, and that was design a filament name and maybe a little story behind it, color, and you could win was it the Infinite Pastabilities subscription box?
Endless Possibilities.
Endless, thank you. Yes, Endless Pastabilities.
When your name's Proto Pasta, it kind of makes sense. And down here in the States, Olive Garden has made that Endless Pasta thing part of the vernacular.
Right. It's a real thing. So as many did, I think the Toolchanger contest was the hottest one going. There was some fantastic entries on all of them, and we kept up on all of them, voted for a bunch of people we liked and ones we saw. Same in the Toolchanger contest. There was a lot of really great submissions in there. And I cheated Bob out of his Toolchanger. Because do you have the Bob Ross there? Like,
I do.
You
right
do?
Here. This guy.
And so there is the MMU Bob Ross. So that's a delightful print. And that's by our friend Wexter.
Who's in the chat?
Hey, there he is. Oh, and Taylor showed up. Sacred 3D, Sacred Etching, Sergio. Oh, it's a whole crew of people in there. That's great. And I entered with one of my the contest rules were multicolor, multi-material, multi-part. Show us your combination prints. And so I went with this guy, the hummingbird that I made a little while back, and I think it's fantastic. Really did like it. And Bob was, a big help in this. So for me to rob him of the Toolchanger was not quite cool. But I mean, it happens, right?
Well, it's because of the rules they made for the contest. They allowed multi-part.
Multi-part, and I get it.
Choice.
I get it. It's multi-part. Oh, that is confusing. Don't do that.
I went full multi-material so I could show off how to use a multi-material machine.
And I was going to put in Gizmo, a delightful model by Wexter as well that I multi-materialed. I've got multi-material masks and I've got multi-material prints up all over the place. And I thought, yeah, some of these would be fantastic, but not going to lie, I knew this was going to be a fun one.
You knew the hummingbird was going to get it.
And I have wanted a Toolchanger since
they announced them.
The dawn of time, let's say. Like, I've wanted one of those for so long, and now it's been sitting here for a little over a week. E3D, they're going to get a lot of love from me for a long time, but they sent over a fully loaded Toolchanger. They took care of everything. It got to my door, no problems.
Karen says you have to share.
Okay, I'll share. So they took care of everything, which when you're getting international shipping, that's a significant ask, and I'm beyond grateful and humble that they did that. And I keep pushing people to enter their other contests. They've got a contest going on right now where you could win a Revo system, either a Revo 6, a Revo Micro, or a Revo Homera. So that would be something that, and it's a CAD contest. I think it's fantastic. You should check out their Twitter account for all the details. And their E3D are just fantastic people in general. A good crew of people over there.
There's only so much of the chat and shit that you can do. Let's jump in.
Let's. So, gonna take me a minute to get used to this because I put a camera over here. And I think if I look at the camera, I'm looking at the camera, so that's delightful. But my computer is right here, so you're going to see a lot of the side of my head, and I'm sorry. And that happens.
The owner's manual is a PDF, so you have to look at the computer to read the PDF.
I've got to. And I have been watching a lot of videos by Renee Jurjak. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that all wrong. Where he has built an E3D Toolchanger, did a streaming, or not stream, but did a video series on it. And there's some fantastic tidbits he gave. One of which was follow the manual, use my information. So that's what we're going to do. I have freshly washed my Tiffy's Lemonade Stand t-shirt, cup of coffee. I built this.
Look at that.
That's delightful. Oh, Bob, we're forgetting something.
We are.
The jazz. I have found the background music channel. The link is in the description. You just want to chill out and just hang out and just have a good background music. It's fantastic.
Now,
and
there have been requests that you get this built in one stream, so don't chill too much.
Okay,
you got a little pressure.
I took the liberty of opening the big, giant, massive box, separating everything out into more manageable spots. Everything was packaged incredibly well, so this is a delightful thing. But we have the base. And I need the Manuel. And we're going to need some hardware. Where did the hardware go? There's the hardware bag. We've got some extrusions.
Oh, and Karen says we need a timer clock.
Well, it is 12:12, and we started unpacking things, so there's your timer clock. At the request of Grant, I have left the plastic on the plexiglass, so there's going to be a peel a little bit later.
Such an animal.
Looks like we've got some feet. I honestly haven't gone through any of this to know what we've got here. So, and I'm sorry if there's noisiness, bags, and it is what it is. You get what you get. You don't get upset like I tell my kids.
Everything comes in a pre-marked kit. They're all bagged parts. It looks like the bags are even labeled. So there's
everything is labeled with the packaging, and you can't read that from that distance. When we get to the electronics section of things, oh my, it is quite interesting. Now, I'm noticing that the instructions do not say which kit of screws to grab, just to grab M8 patch locked button head screws, the feet. So we're just gonna roll with it.
Just noticed how big those hands were.
Oh, the hands. Oh, and please, if anyone's saying, let me know if the music's too loud or don't want it or whatever. I can work with whatever. These are a Fotis Mint model from a few years back. These were printed on this machine right here, which is a E3D Supercube at a 300 by 300 by 500 build volume. And they're massive. I'm going to put them out for Halloween decorations, and I'm going to give them away to some kid because I don't want them in my office all the time, but some child somewhere is going to love it. Kind of getting ahead of myself. I got to find the right screws, Bob.
Grant, that's a horrible idea. You don't clap those hands. That would just be noisy.
So, all right. Yeah, and we don't need more noise than we already have. What we do need is a little container. What happened to all my little containers?
Viking says the jazz is a little bit loud.
Okay.
And Andrew S says build faster. He's only paying you peanuts.
Oh. All right. Turn the jazz down. It'll be a complete background thing. Now, I was warned yesterday by Sanjay to take my time, square things up properly, and do it right.
Carson has a really good point. Warn the parents or put a note on them. These are not stolen decorations.
Ooh, good point. Good point, Carson. You know what? There's a lot of surface on the bottom. I'll just write not stolen, happy Halloween kind of thing. All right. This is going to become a quickly diminishing pile of stuff. For anybody who doesn't know, though, the E3D Toolchanger is a Core XY motion system that has 4 independent tool heads available in various different configurations. The configuration we're going to be using is the 4 Chimeras as a 3D printing motion system, but it can actually work with many different types of systems.
Real quick status update. Karen suggested that we put on Polka. Llama says to put her in timeout. We don't put Karen in timeout. She's here to cause trouble.
Correct. Karen is here to be the trouble. I think I need to pick which side I want facing up.
Are either of the sides countersunk?
There's no, it's a flat sheet of aluminum. There's no preference. I'm just looking to make sure that, one side doesn't have a ton of scratches or something. And we've got something special for in here. More on that later, because I'm going to get in trouble for not building fast enough here.
Correct. Grant says that writing not stolen on the bottom of the thing is something a kid would totally do if he'd stole them.
You know what? You're not wrong. You're not right either. But that's a different story.
We'll call him left.
There we go. This is a oh, Bob. This is the best idea I ever stole from somebody else.
Correct. Do we know if the parts are bare or anodized?
I'm gonna say that the plates are bare, but the extrusions are at least cleared. Based on, there is a slight color variation. I don't know if you're able to pick that up. There's some color variation between the two. I'm gonna need these tools as well, so let's get those out. Okay. The only thing I got to be careful about is my fancy spinneroo doesn't knock everything off the table. Because I built this the other day.
Well, if it does, it'll be entertaining.
Correct. Having this rotating platform is quite nice.
I can see how that would be very useful. We might have to consider it a permanent attachment.
Well, we do have another printer to build, I believe, in the near future, as our friends over at Sparta 3D, which are a huge sponsor, friends, good people, have just received their LDO V0 kits. Those are all being unpacked and inspected as we go here, and there's going to be just some great options available for that. So one of the things I need to do is there is a section of the clear acrylics you have to pop out, and you use this as kind of a frame guide to make sure it's flush up against the edge.
I think you've got a little bit of that covered with the base too, the spinning base that you're sitting on, taking care of that for the bottom pretty well.
It's keeping it very true. This is a very fresh piece of thing, but I will throw the square on there and just really true that up before I lock it down. All of the nuts, like all of the hardware provided by E3D in this kit has some Loctite on it. I'm not switching. You're just gonna have to look at the little camera. Has some Loctite on there, built right in.
That's the word.
Pre-applied, the nice stuff already on there. You don't have to worry about it. When building 3D printers, taking the few extra minutes to make sure things are squared up is never a bad thing.
Well, it's that if you take the extra time now, the time you save in the end is more than worth it, and the frustration.
Correct.
Oh no, my frame is skewed. Horrible feeling.
Oh no. Oh, I gotta say though, Bob, building the printer with the Jazz is just great.
It's a nice touch.
So I was turned on to this by a Twitch streamer, YouTube creator named Kibitz. And I got into watching his based on playing some Satisfactory, and then he started playing some other games, Cities, Skylines, and Timberborn. And he is a Canadian out on your coast, but he plays the same jazz channel. It is, again, the BGM channel, and it is fully okay to play on YouTube and stream, and they have a Spotify channel as well. But the jazz, it's a good time.
Yeah, as long as you like jazz. I understand there's different tastes for different people.
I'm not necessarily a jazz fan. Like, I have my music choices.
Yeah, you're not out buying the jazz albums, but
no, but
as a nice background when you're trying to be productive, it's not bad.
No, it's a good.
I think what you avoid at the day job, we've got radio playing in the background,
mm-hmm.
and because they play popular music, you hear the same song 8 times a day.
I've heard this same jazz channel, I don't know how many times.
But because there's no vocals to any of this jazz, you don't get that same, not this again.
Correct. All right, so our fronts are...
A couple of comments to catch up on.
Okay.
Our buddy Jonathan says that Loctite's his favorite hot dog condiment, and I'll say that explains a lot. Uh-huh. And then Duff says that is going to be a chonky printer.
Yeah, so these are 3060 extrusions, which are chonky. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to turn it this way. Let's see if I can't.
Building is the easy part. Getting it to print nice is the difficult.
I've heard that. I've heard that statement. Okay.
And Karen's correct. You're used to troubles getting things to print properly.
Sometimes. The front extrusion should look like this. Okay, moving on to step 7 of the base. And so the screw goes to the back.
You just said the screw goes to the back.
Sorry, to the inside.
There you go. The feet go on the outermost corners.
Feet go on the outermost corners, yes. So
we don't want to mislead the silly people who might use this as a build guide.
Oh, please use this as a build guide. But let me tell you, there are far better build guides out there, but I think it's good. I know I have watched an obscene number of Toolchanger videos in the last little while. Did I just see Coloring with Renee?
You did. Who approves of your scroll?
Oh, well, that makes it all better.
The little machinist squares, while not called out in the instructions, seem to be a...
They do mention having them. The instructions are not saying when to use them. This is not a rookie printer. I want to go out on the, like, I'm going to say it now and I'm going to say it often. This is not a printer if you do not like 3D printers, if you do not like tinkering with 3D printers. Don't do it.
So what you're saying is, this is not a good first printer.
This is not a good first printer. What I am saying though is, it's a good time.
Rain has a really good question.
Yes.
Do you have any plans for tools other than FDM?
You know, I haven't thought too much about it, but I have considered a laser, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Being something that can be easily... A laser can easily go on many of your 3D printing platforms and stuff.
How would you use the laser in combination with the FDM head?
Etching prints, branding them, perhaps.
That could be a fun little experiment.
I remember seeing some stuff about that a while back. I know some people, and I think I've even mentioned this to some people in the past, have used the Toolchanger not as a material for print head system. Some have used it as I have 4 different pre-configured setups, so depending on what I want to print, it's ready to go.
So David Wheeler joined us in chat.
Dave Wheeler.
Always nice to see David. And wants to know, which printer is this for you? And I think he's asking, what number is this?
Oh, he's getting personal.
Yeah.
Mr. David Wheeler asking the personal questions. In this room currently, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this would be number 12. Right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. There's 10 in here right now. I moved a couple out. I moved a few around.
Yep.
I, in fact, moved 2 printers out of here. And 1 in. I moved the Sparta switch wire into a better home. I moved the Lulzbot Sidekick, 289, got adjusted in its location. Just with the management box up above for my filament, the Toolchanger needs a home there.
It makes more sense with the 4 different print heads. The filament stored for the MMU and the Toolchanger, it makes the most sense to have it in that location. And yeah, Karen, we're not going to talk about the hidden printers. That's a secret.
Yeah, and thanks for talking about the hidden printers. Just as my wife came back home from doing a little bit of Halloween shopping with my daughter, and you know that everything seems to be good.
Viking has a suggestion for a print head.
Okay.
We know FDM.
Yes.
We know E3D has their symbol head.
Yes, which is like a CNC router style head.
We just talked about the laser.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves a fourth that needs to print cheese.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. So, just like that, we've got the bulk of a motion platform ready to go.
Rain reminds us that E3D does not sell this as a printer, but a motion system.
Correct. This is not a 3D printer. All right. We're going to be getting into this section here. You know what I need to do? I'm sorry for anybody who's not a fan of the color orange, but I'm a big fan of Wham Bam, and I need to put something down so I don't scratch this beautiful aluminum, because this is my working surface. It is what it is. All right, Bob, we are on to appeal. So this is the back panel, and it is peel time. So let me do this. Let me change to this camera.
Yeah, Karen, a separate dedicated tool for PVA supports would be good.
Are you happy, Grant? I know I'm not doing it slow enough, but that's loud. Man. It's too loud, Grant.
Yeah, I know there's a thing about peeling plastic from screens and everybody loving that sound. I'm not one of those people.
I'm not one of those people. So the important point to note with this now is that there is a notch right here on the plastic, and when you're looking at the printer, that needs to be on the right-hand side. So, what is nice though is that while we build this, clear acrylic won't block my ugly mug.
More importantly, it won't block the t-shirt.
More importantly, it won't block the t-shirt.
That lemonade stand at the...
do you have some earrings available there, I believe, to show?
I do actually have.
Let's get some product.
The gnomes. Let's see if I can get that in a good...
Oh, those are delightful. Nice Christmas gnomes. Okay, so the supplied M6 screws are now 12 millimeters and patch locked. The fixings photos are 10 and not patch locked. Okay, let's take a look here. 12.
Karen, not so much sponsored as share the love.
You know, and they have been channel sponsors in the past. They will continue to be channel sponsors in the future because they're good people. And yeah, share the love.
Well, they're our friends too.
That is the more important aspect of life. You know, you can have channel sponsors, you can have no channel sponsors, but if you got some friends, what more do you need? And I know the big thing right now is Twitch. That's a big... People are all up to get onto Twitch. If I drink too much coffee, I get twitchy. Okay, you ready for the best part of the thing right now, Bob?
Sure.
Next. Ah.
Yeah, Carson, check out that Tiffy's Lemonade Stand link. There's a bunch of earrings on there, and some of them are just cute as hell.
And they are doing 3D printed, multi-material color and non-multi-material earrings. They also do laser cut earrings as well, and other accessories. They can also, if you have a laser cutting product you require and you don't want to get into it, they can work with you on that. They are also now getting into Jeep accessories. Ben and Tiffy are now Jeep owners.
They are part of the Jeep fan club now.
And so they have Jeep things if you are into Jeeps.
And Wexter there would like to remind us, with friends like us, who needs enemas, although I think he pronounced it enemies.
You know, it's no Prusa alive, but, you know, having them in the chat is just delightful. Okay, so we assemble the T-nuts, do the same for the other side. Double check that that's in the right location. And put those on the other side. You know what I'm going to do, though? We're just going to put that in place.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick basic structure build. This step of assembling the frame is a 35 page PDF. We're on 11.
Yeah. The big thing right now is this is all acrylic. So don't use Loctite. They're calling these patched screws. I believe it's obviously something to do with the type of locking adhesive that is put on them.
Patch locked button head screws. It's a lot of words.
Well, they're English. They know the English language better. The other thing right now that I remember reading in or seeing in some videos is not to tighten this down just yet too much, because we got to put the top halo on, which will square up our gantry uprights. So we get to that in a moment.
Also, it is flexi, so caution with the tightening is important anyway.
I'm just getting them to grab right now, and that's it. And I'm ever so hesitant with just even that. I need some more. It's never enough. I need more.
Geek Tech and local maker joined us. Good morning.
Hey, good to see you. How we doing? Is there a lot of people in the chat? I haven't looked.
Uh-oh. Asking for details. Says 16 folks are watching us.
Well, that is 15 people more than I expected, so thank you.
Well, 16 friends, because so far everybody I've seen in there is nice, friendly folks.
Yeah, this hardware is like, you feel like you're cross-threading because of the goo. Just got to trust your first couple threads and
trust your fingers.
Yeah. Trust in your fingies.
That'll probably make it easier to turn those into the channel as well.
Yes. From what I can feel so far is I am not going to have a problem with T-nuts unscrewing themselves when I back it off a hair just to adjust. All right, there we go. Okay. Hold the panel flat against the extrusions. Check all the T-nuts. Finger tighten the screws. All right. Next up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know if you're ready for this step. I don't think you can handle it.
I think I can handle. Best part of the whole thing. I'm gonna have to readjust some stuff here, so
Absolutely.
bear with me. And oof, sorry.
The next part is a big one.
I think we got a tip.
Well, I think you leave that where it's at. Show us the part, and then put it up on top. Or that.
Let's tip just a little. Standing, I can do that some days, and I've got to clean off the space to get to it.
Well, so they left you a leg to stand on, so you're good.
Yep. But I am on my last leg. Oh, this Z-axis makes me happy. It's so beefy.
Yeah, there's not exactly a low number of times you've said that going through the kit, though.
Uh-huh. Everything about this makes me happy. It is a delightful thing. But we are one well packaged. Oh, I'm showing the wrong camera. I got a lot of packing material here, which I'm throwing out the door.
Fun for the kids to pop.
Oh, not today. Maybe later.
The noise of those popping scares the dog.
I'm sure. So this item is packaged so well, like they shipped the entire assembly pre-assembled for the most important aspect of the printer. Okay. You know what? Let's do it this way. Let's do the show and tell. Okay, so the whole thing is packaged in there so well. That it's not even coming out. Oh, this is the pre-built, pre-assembled, tensioned, motors are on, pulleys, belts, genuine high wind rails for everything. If you didn't already know, everything is ready to go out of the box. The only trick to putting this top section on is to make sure that back here the belts run through the cutouts. Like that.
It's almost like it was made to be there.
Belts are through the cutouts. Everyone's happy. So it's like when you're talking Core XY, okay, we've been there, we've done it, we built the V0, we built the switch wire, which is a Core YZ. Tensioning and aligning your belts, getting your gantry square is arguably the most difficult and painful thing you're going to do.
A note real quick. We've got a nice camera view here of how you're putting it together, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But these instructions with the pictures they've got, like that step you just mentioned of make sure that the belts go in these cutouts.
Yep.
The way that they've got that highlighted in the picture of exactly what you're looking for is documentation makes the whole thing so nice.
Documentation makes or breaks a printer. I don't care who you are or what you say. Documentation is king. If you give me a bag of parts, okay, and you want me to build it a very specific way, you better tell me. Our friends over at Team Orange are big proponents of the here's the kit and all the fun, here's all how you build it. And I was thinking of grabbing just not power tools, but maybe a little something to help drive these in a little quicker.
Sure.
There's not that many screws. I think it's fine.
So now you need to use that feeler gauge. And
what I need to do is put the glass bed off to the side so I don't knock it over. And the electrical wiring. Let's get rid of that. So the instructions are saying use this feeler, this acrylic feeler panel, and you're going to use it up against the face to square it up. I think that's a great idea. I'm going to see that idea and raise you one aluminum block as the side of a machine square. Now I'm only going to snug this up because I have to check it in two directions. The acrylic block is also used to ensure that the side, you can't see that. This is fun, we're walking. So this acrylic block, we're going to make sure this protecting the side of this here. And I'm going to do it again, just one step further.
The way that they've got the image on this one, throw your square on the opposite face of that 3060
and square it up that way.
That should be flush.
Yeah. You know what we'll do? Fingy tight. Let's double check it all. Like I said before, a little bit of squaredness now.
A little bit of time now. Makes all the difference later. Richard Crook joined us finally.
Oh, good morning, Sir Richard Crook.
Geek Tech has to run off and do some housework. They're going to leave our stream running.
Thank you.
Wished us some bad luck.
So we're only, right now, tightening up the front. The reason for that is I think you can see what's missing.
Anything? Everything?
Got to watch the hand motions with veteran around. Next thing I know, I've just got screen caps and.
Well, it works out. P.L. Lehman already thought it was an aquarium.
Ooh, nice. So, that one went a little bit smoother. Not that the other one wasn't difficult, just once you figure out the positions to hold it and where you're checking.
Also, it's a big piece of aluminum, so once you've got the one corner, the rest are going to be pretty close.
Well, what I'm doing now is I'm just making sure that this is vertically true. Yep. There's no, like, if you're using this corner as your squaring guide, it's a milled piece of aluminum, and this is a milled piece of 6mm aluminum. Yeah. 6mm aluminum. So he's a big boy. All right. Instructions.
Wexter has his regular request of, you're standing, it's time to shake. There you go. Give the people what they want.
Don't forget to tip your waiter. See, they're saying now at this point, align the bottom. So I did that ahead of time just because I don't want to deal with it.
Double check it.
Yeah, no, we'll double check it before we put the Z in, because that's a pain in the butt. Let's get the full square kit out.
Oh, look at that.
3D printing, man. Like, I bought the squares. I needed a place to store them. 5 minutes in Fusion. A quick 3D print later. We're good. Now the back hasn't been done. That was bound to happen. One of the things in the instructions that I will not be doing right away, that some people might not agree with, some people might. I am not putting the sides on, as they are not, needed for the squaring process of this. So we're going to have a lot more working room.
Yeah, the panels could get in the way if you don't have the tiniest of hands and arms to get in there. And there's nothing that requires them to be in place until much later on in the build.
Ugh. Wow. It's a big boy.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but
I've put on a few pounds. I get it. The only thing I wish, I have just a regular Mastercraft Canadian Tire 12 millimeter wrench. It's brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Its profile is a little bit thick.
Yeah, a thinner
wrench would have been fantastic. I wonder.
Now, here's the thing that I've actually seen a lot of folks in this type of an industry do. They'll buy an extra wrench or two of the sizes that they need like that,
and they flatten
they'll
them.
Just take them to the belt sander.
Yep. Now, I think I can just no, you know what? Doesn't matter what I think. We're not doing that.
Okay.
I was going to try to pop the rubber off because this is it is a gimbal swivel.
Yeah, there is actually a step early on in the instructions where they make mention of pulling off and putting on those parts. So it is a doable thing, but they're on there. If you can get the tool in, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just scuffing the underside of the extrusion, which is the underside. Okay.
Rain says, leave the panels out for now, but make sure you put them in before you start actually using the machine. It stiffens the frame.
Yeah, I could see that. And I am not capable at this point of building this on like granite or something, because I don't have that.
I will say, having a large stone counter makes these types of things so nice.
Is that your YouTube notification that we're live?
That's my YouTube notification that Renee is live.
Oh, delightful. If people are multi-stream people, Bob's wife,
We are a
Renee,
multi-stream household.
Is currently streaming, and she does coloring, and it is oh so relaxing.
This weekend is what's the word? All the coloring streamers are streaming. They're making a whole event of it for Halloween.
Oh, that's nice. It's like a stream fest.
Streamathon.
Yeah.
They're having a marathon of streams.
Oh, that's nice.
They had one last weekend. I think it was for somebody's birthday. So if my internet goes out,
the whole household's going to hear about it. Now this is just taking that extra bit to ensure, like I'm aiming for the truest true that I can true up here.
these little bitty details make all the difference.
Yeah. And I wish in some cases, like I got the rotator so that you can see what I'm doing, but at the same time, don't nobody want to see my Crocs and my butt.
Except for veteran.
Yeah. He do be feeky like that. All right, there we go. There we go.
And apparently Duff.
Oh, well, if it's for Duff, I mean, why not? Let's do it. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about readjusting the back just yet because I've got to get under there to do all the Z-axis stuff when that time comes. So, I need a coffee break.
So apparently there's a large portion of our viewing audience who are here to see your butt.
Well, if this was a monetized stream, or if we were on Twitch, get the hype train rolling and shake your bits and subscribe and ring the... I don't know, just stop.
Fotis just joined us as well.
Hey, Fotis. Oh, let's do this. Jeebus. That's a big boy.
That is a big boy. That is too big for the tool changer.
The tool changer's print volume is not the full volume.
Print volume was not its thing.
No. The print bed is in this package right here. So I mean we lose quite a bit up front, but that's because we have a motion system that has to be able to grab these tools and do all the fun. But
between the size of the tool, the part that grabs the tool, and it takes up some space.
You do not need to have a big giant purge block, right? So if you've got a large part that you're trying to multi-material color print, and I'm gonna be honest here, I will use this 99.9% of the time for color prints. I understand that's not its purpose. I'm not here to tell you its purpose. I'm here to build a thing that I love. But the purge block that we are so traditionally used to seeing in some prints that for a small model can be substantial.
Yep.
For a big model, like I have 100% purged about 1 kilogram of material for a 1 kilogram print before. Like it happens. That's not the case with this because you're 4 independent tools.
You're not purging to change color. You're only priming a little bit to make sure that you're good to print.
You're cleaning out old filament. You're priming to get new filament ready.
Well, you're just priming it to get that filament right up to the end of the nozzle so that you can print without gaps.
So here is something that I saw on one of Renee Jurak's videos. When you put this Z-axis in, you will scratch the bed of this. So you take this handy dandy nozzle guide chart that was included with your kit and you just slap her down there.
Richard's telling us it's not a printer again, but this is...
It's true. It's not a printer. It's not. However, I am. I am a 3D printer. That's what I do. That's what I enjoy. That's
Some of
where
those
I am.
extrusions, though, man, they're just poo.
Let's get a close-up of the beefiness. Look at that rail. That is one chunky rail. Single Z-axis cantilever bed, driven by don't die. Driven by stepper motor, and just the beefiest of rails. And again, everything's ready. Everything's also pre-greased. I don't know if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
There's none of this. Oh, pull your thing apart and do this or that. No, just enjoy the ride. Good time. All right, extra hands. That would be handy right now. Part of the reason why I'm having a hard time with it is because I lock down the front so well. It doesn't want to liberate it.
Doesn't want to let you lift the back.
No. So these are not locking into place. I'm just using this to help fix
To hold it a little bit.
There she goes.
Wexter's running off for some family time, so have fun with that.
Nice, buddy. Enjoy. We'll see you later.
Viking ran off to have a burrito bowl.
Oh, so jealous. Two more of these lovely guys go in the top. All right.
You're going to want to grab your feeler gauge again.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay.
Looks like for all three sides.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do. Okay.
Fotis is throwing out that this build is going to take a couple of months.
You know, when he releases multi-material models, then he can talk.
Well, he made mention earlier that you've got those hands. You just need the backside to go with it. You know, if only we knew a 3D modeler.
Correct.
Maybe the same guy who did the hands.
Oh, maybe that guy. Was that Matt from Jake from State Farm?
Matt from Jake from State Farm did just show up.
Look at that. Okay. I think it is time for my tired self to sit back down.
Before you do, you're going to have to turn that thing over to get those bottom screws.
I know, that's the whole point. I got to sit down for a second, get myself reorganized, move some stuff around. I love doing that, man. That is so great.
It's great.
And I can just put this fixings bag away for now.
We do we do tease Fotis and Wexter quite a bit, but
They're
they
the
are,
best people.
They really are great.
You know what it is? You know when you get a good group of friends or family, you kind of bust on each other a little bit. There's jokes. It's fun times. That's what it is. I don't think of Vedran and Fotis as anything other than my friends. They just happen to make 3D models.
And really good ones.
And sometimes they're good.
I disagree with the sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I would print all of them if I had space to put them all.
You know what the problem is, Bob? I have printed almost all of them, and I don't have the space to put them all anymore. As my darling wife has told me more than plenty of times.
Monkey in a cage. That's a direct Fotis quote.
So there is a model that if you go onto your favorite STL aggregating website, or Yegi, as most people will use, you can search across all the different platforms for Toolchanger parts. And one of the models that is out there are some inserts to fill these gaps. Because it's just where stuff's going to fall through the bottom of the bed and everything. So now, what is this saying to do here? Take this. And square this up. Okay. Because that is how they say square.
And with it square, tighten up those screws.
Now, how about vertical plumbness? Is there anything for that the next step?
Well, your back panel is going to take care of most of that.
Okay.
Between the top halo, you did use that flush gauge to square that up on 3 sides.
Yep.
And then truing up that bottom portion, I think they're making an assumption that things are aligned
registering
properly
themselves
based on those two parts.
Yeah. Now we still have to just double check these rear uprights. So let me throw the... Yeah, that's great. Also, fantastic. And those will pull whatever any of bits later. Whew, it's getting hot in here, Bob. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta tighten up those T-nuts.
I have to do the top. So let's do that. Let's take a sip of coffee. Yeah. So I heard a little rumor, Bob.
Uh-oh.
I heard a little rumor that Sparta 3D, well, that's no rumor, I knew that. They just got in 9-10 different colors, some new PLA filaments.
Some matte PLA.
Matte PLA, yeah. And I heard that is something you might be getting yourself into.
I might just have to get them all.
Okay. I was trying to. A few, sure.
I'll tell you real honestly. The only reason I hesitate at all
Mm-hmm.
is because with the Prusa machines that I own, with the MMU, and now the Alpha Slicer that lets you paint things, I am just loving this multi-material printing.
Correct. It's delightful, and it's something where like, so Fotis puts an incredible amount of time and effort into his models. If you haven't splashed up his Patreon, please do
Did.
so. But he puts an incredible amount of time and effort into his models, and because of that, he tends to not make multi-material models. He maybe makes a base, obviously the base separate from the bust and stuff like that, but he's not, because of the time it takes to do the model, he's not putting in the time beyond the pale. Like, I mean, this is a crazy amount of time he does to key and cut these things for multi-material.
Well, I think that there might be a different discipline in creation of the models when you're doing it for multi-material.
Absolutely. And there's also design aesthetic. You know, maybe he doesn't want to tell you what colors to use.
But this allows you to do some of that yourself.
This puts the responsibility on you, the guy doing the printing, to pick and choose the way you want to do it.
Now, my problem is I'm not a big tuner tinkerer.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially with something like the matte filaments, tip tuning and temperature tuning and all that stuff to make sure you don't get the strings that will completely cause you nightmares for MMU printing. It takes a bit more of that tinkering than I'm used to.
Sure.
So that's my one hesitation to it. He says that's not the reason he doesn't do MMU. He just doesn't like it.
Well, listen, I'm trying to fluff you up. I don't know what camera to look at. I'm so confused right now. I'm trying to make you look good, buddy. Just shh. Shh. Okay.
Thanos is doing a really nice job here, pumping the links in the stream too.
That's good. Thanks, Thanos.
Our little Canadian friend.
Right now, we're just snugging up these bolts. I'm not putting a crazy amount of tension and force and stuff on them. All right. Is it tighten up the acrylic time yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of Fotis models and MMU, though.
Pray for me, Argentina.
He did the Dryad. And I thought just that hint of color in the eyes sold it.
See, and that's something right there that's your
splash.
Personal choice. A quick splash in Prusa Slicer 2.4 with the painting features. And now you've turned a delightful model into something personal. One of my favorite features with this new Prusa Slicer thing is it will automatically detect now if you have done something that has it
automatically suggests layer swaps
for sign type things, layer swaps. Yeah.
Clippy Joe is my favorite thing.
You know what? Regular Joe ain't bad, but Clippy Joe? Let's go. This is stressful, this part right here, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, you want to get it tight, but not break the plastic.
Right. And like I said, the
go just a little bit less tight than you think you really want to, because there's going to be some additional stress put on when everything's moving as well.
That's on there to Loctite it, basically.
Yeah.
You really got to give it just a little. Yeah. This is definitely a do it by hand. Take your time. That's fantastic. Oh, God. So this printer is no slouch, okay? The shipping weight from the package was 62 pounds. So the printer itself, fully assembled Death Star, it's a chunky boy.
That does lead to one suggestion for the folks looking at the turntable and thinking it's a fantastic idea. Get a nice wide ring.
Yeah, I used the ring I had,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a 6-inch ring. If you're gonna do this, you need a 12-inch minimum. Huh. Okay, we're gonna fix that.
What happened?
I'm feeling that my panel is not centered across the extrusions.
Okay, that could cause a problem.
So while we're at this step,
Do the middle ones too, because that's going to be a binding point.
well, I didn't tighten those up yet.
Okay. Yeah, Thaneth, I think that tuning for those filaments in the MMU is going to be important. But the other thing with the matte filaments is these pencil holders that I do for Renee, the matte colors, especially the colors that Sparta put out there, are going to be fantastic for her crowd.
These latest ones with the matte colors are a lot of very pastel. I don't have them currently to show. I do have some ABS to show off later, though. Oh, there we go. Okay. And this is not tangential to the actual building of it, but I'm...
Kind of is, though. Because everything is... your tool mounts are registered on that plastic.
No. These plastic holes here are for if you're doing a Bowden setup, because then the tools mount to it.
Okay.
I don't believe I had to take those out at all. But...
So there must be a hanger.
But the side panels, when they go to attach, you want those flush to the extrusions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're sticking out a little bit... There we go. There we go. That feels nicer. And because I just did these, I feel a little more comfortable. So one of the things I'm thinking is I'd like to get some sort of graphic for on here, maybe, depending on how, I mean, I want to be able to see the goods. I want to see the wiring and stuff like that. That's nice, but...
Well, it's really going to depend on how clean you're able to get that wiring job, right? Because if you can just... If you get that wiring pretty enough, don't hide it.
Yeah. What I was thinking, if anything, would be not a full color graphic or anything, but instead almost like a frosted etching look of actually like a circuit board.
Okay.
And I might still reach out to Taylor with the dimensions and DXF of this, and I think I might... trying to replace the panel is going to be...
It's going to be a nightmare.
Incredibly difficult. It is very required for the part. Okay.
You want to jump a little bit to those parts?
Do I want to do what? Sorry.
Jump a little bit to those parts, fill those holes.
Oh, you know what? Yes, because we're about to work on the bed.
Well, and we just mentioned the guy.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, and I'm going to do this because I can't. tired. So the holes in the bottom of the extrusion, put the slap mat away for now. As we know, there are all these holes in the bottom. Stuff can fall through easily. So I reached out to my buddy Taylor over at Sacred 3D Etching on frames and other thing, anything. And I said, hey man, I want to take your awesome design and I want to integrate it into this machine in some way, but I can't send you the extrusions. I don't think they would etch very well either. I don't know pro. I can't send the acrylics. It's a very steep thing to ship acrylic back and forth, and what if it breaks? So I took one of his designs. I had him send me the parts, and we came up together with a design that I then MMU'd into being something. I think something pretty special. And these, oh dear Lord, that's not good. These just snap into the bottoms.
That's his molecular hex pattern that he does for all of the frames.
Yeah.
So the Prusa bears, all the various Vorons, any of the aluminum extrusion type parts. He carries a bunch of those frames in stock, and he'll do almost anything if you send it to him.
He will etch whatever you'd like. So these just snap in. There's no glue or fasteners to hold them.
How are those fitting?
Delightful. That one's a little loose. I might need to put a dab of glue or something on the bottom side at one point. But these don't carry any weight or anything. All of these plastic parts are printed in Prusa Galaxy Black. For these, I just used PLA because I don't have some of these colors in PETG.
Well, there's not going to be a lot of heat there anyway.
There should be no heat down here. So these are Prusa Galaxy Black PLA and Royal Blue and Viva La Bronze, which is essentially a gold. All right. And
they do have an Oh My Gold, but it is significantly yellower than the Viva La Bronze. I like the Viva La Bronze better.
Look at that.
That's a nice pattern.
Is that not cool? That is freaking cool. And so one of the things that I'm hoping we can work out in the future is we're going to convert this machine back here from an MK3S MMUS to a etched bear frame with an MMU on it. I think that's going to look amazing. I'm loving this right now. That looks so awesome. And now we protect it with the slap mat. Sorry, show's over.
And that fills in some of the gaps so that the slap mat's supported. And if you got a couple of heavy screws, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Roll off
Honestly, you know what? We got it. I can't cover it up just yet. That's show the people what they came for. Oh, man. And that is so. That took it took a bit of time in Fusion 360. To be honest with you, to model that. Taylor sent me the image after I sent him an image to work with, and the amount of sketched lines to make this work, because I cut the recesses, I cut the insets, I put it all together, and each one of them is only surfaced through the top layers, so it doesn't go all the way through.
I think
it was
leaving them loose like that is the way to go.
If I need to get under there for any reason, I can.
Yeah.
All right. Let's put the slap mat. These are fantastic. I have a bigger one. It would overhang too much. That's the Slap Mat XL. This is the regular size Slap Mat, and although they are designed for resin printing, they're handy for everything, man. Like this one's got super glue stuck to it, so it's I use them a lot for supporting things and protecting surfaces. All right, hydration station. So now I am looking for some M4 by 12 button head screws.
And washers.
And washers. No, those are right here. I might as well get this out while I'm over here. This dead sexy chunk of aluminum. Look at that. That's beefy, man. Like cantilever bed we know is not necessarily the greatest in some opinion for it, but that's a beefy chunk. These aren't. Are these the right ones? No.
M4 by 12 button head screws.
Yeah. I'm wondering. No, those are M6, right? So this is where I really love the Prusa system for this. Is all the screws are organized in such a way that you just grab the number of the part that you're looking on, and they have callouts in the manuals for them specifically. This they got to be in this bag. I just can't see them past all the button head hardware.
So this is where I think sometimes it would make sense to go through a kit like this completely and segregate out into marked bins all of the hardware.
Yeah, I probably should have.
That's a lot of work.
This is a lot of screws. You know what I might do though, since I've already pulled one thing apart, I'll start putting some of these away.
And these 3D printed screw guides are handy as heck just to keep on the desk.
Yeah, I think what it is I need to pull some from one bag and some from another.
Karen, it's roughly a 12-step manual. We're on step 1, building the frame, and we are 2/3 of the way through that step.
Huh. All right. I think things have been updated a little. I found in this bag 4 M4 by 16 based on the thickness of everything. I think these are the way to be. I don't have any other M4 hardware. Oh no, here's M4 by 12.
There we go. Let's use those.
Yeah, let's use those. M4 by 12 button head screws, and that's why you keep a metal ruler handy at all times.
No. These.
Oh, sure. Let's use those too.
You and your fancy measuring sticks.
Ah,
Is that ruler calibrated?
it is. It's about a 1/2 mil off. But see, my coloring thing is multi-material.
So is mine.
Everything needs layer swaps though. Like something like that, you don't need a special system for that, right? You just need to put an M600 layer change in there. All right, I think. Oh yeah, there we go. Yes. Can you see now how if I did not have this slap mat or the inserts, the table of screws would be everywhere.
Correct.
There we go. All right. One bed frame, some M4 screws. Okay, so this next step is calling out to use a spirit level.
Uh-oh.
And you're going to use it to make sure that the bed is parallel to the frame.
I think that you're better off with your calipers.
I'm better off raising it up, measuring, and all that jazz. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let us.
Before you attach that to the back piece there.
Yep.
Maybe raise the back piece up.
I'm going to do it
easier
after.
to get to.
It's easier to access right here.
Okay.
As this is just square in the middle. Easy to reach. I'm sorry for the terrible camera angles. I'm a bad person. There we go. This is not even better. That's great. Now, in the videos that I watched by Renee there, he calls out just kind of let gravity do its thing. But during a conversation that was had yesterday, where conveniently E3D was involved.
Well, so let's talk about that for just a half a second. Every Friday, Mr. Matt Stoltz puts on a maker call, and he just last week started expanding it to a second call for the European audience.
Correct. And it is a maker call. This is not a, hey, you're going to get famous. Hey, you're going to, learn about Prusa secrets, because there's none of that. Absolutely none of that. It is a bunch of people getting together and having a good time.
And it's all on a private Zoom call. It never goes out to a YouTube or a Twitch or anything like that. So the people in the call are active and talking to each other and showing off what they've been making.
Well, we've been doing this call for over a year now. We started it when the beginning of the pandemic hit, and as something to do to hang out and socialize. But we've been doing it for over a year now, and it has been fantastic. Not gonna lie. Every week we get together with some really great people. We have a general Vegas rules of it all. What happens on the call
stays in the call. Yeah,
stays on the call, and that's just to keep it safe for everybody. Okay, I think this might be the way to be. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to clip my ruler to my straight edge. And now I should be able to basically just make it a extra long straight edge. Get a measurement
And
here.
David's correct. The key to the maker call is following Matt Stoltz on Twitter and signing
Correct.
up for the link every week.
And participating. It is, the call is only as good as the people who come to hang out and chat.
I don't know. They let me in.
Oh, I bring you places. You don't want to be the, Johnny, come look at me. But you do want to take and participate. You want to talk about what you're working on, show off your
Or maybe
excitement.
you're stuck on a project and need some additional...
The amount of ideas that have been generated on this call. Oof. All right.
But the call was expanded to add an earlier time slot for the European folks because it gets really late for them. And this last week, you guys were fortunate enough to have Sanjay stop by.
We had more than a few E3D members on the call, but Sanjay stopped by, and let me tell you, the things that guy knows. Whew. Like, I was just sitting there kind of going, wow, this... He introduces himself as Sanjay. He likes nozzles. And
that explains both the Revo and the new Obsidian.
Yeah. The Obsidian. That's a great thing. Uh-oh. Bob wasn't paying attention.
Let's blame the bad camera angle.
That's fine. What we're going to do... Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. There's only so much... I have to be able to see this. So this is a step where it's saying to apply a little bit of Loctite to the screws. These screws are not pasted. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to apply a couple dabs of my favorite Loctite. I've already verified the squareness to it here. I'm just going to pull them out one by one. Add a little bit of Loctite and snug them up. When working with Loctite, a dab will do ya. If it's really runny stuff, just run a little bit up and down. Oh, I think I hear Matthew outside playing his Pokemon games.
Good for him.
I'm so glad we got background music. It's just great. Our friend Justin was streaming his Tiny Belt. Oh, where am I? I'm over here. He was streaming his Tiny Belt belt printer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching that off and on, and he actually said, I gotta get some music for this stream. I find, though, that, like, I love music. I am constantly listening to music in some way. Oh, dropping screws. But no, like you said, not the top 40 repeated every 5 seconds. It's not
It's just background instrumentals. I mean, you might as well have a piano player in the corner.
Correct. And when I'm doing some schoolwork, it is invaluable. because otherwise I get distracted too easily. Singing songs and.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to alarm you, Bob,
Uh-oh.
but we are a little over an hour
We are halfway through this stream.
in. Well, halfway through the estimated time of the stream. If we go a little longer, it's okay. But that is a motion system, sir.
Well, except you're up to page 28 of 35 of assembling the motion system.
Oh, really? Parade ruiner. I need chocolate.
Don't forget, every silver lining has a cloud. That was timed just about perfectly to skip the rebuttal. And this is where the audience takes a poll and tries to think, will he unmute himself when he's done?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to anymore. You've hurt me so. Your hurtful words. Oh. Okay. Let's just tidy up a second here. Halloween time is a fantastic time to have a little bit of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think recently you just got some chocolate, didn't you?
I did. Special delivery from the Canada land.
Well,
important note, the name may be the same in the two different countries. The end product significantly different. Smarties.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is calling for some M3 by 12 countersunk screws, some M3 washers, which I need to find the M3 washers. There's the M3 washers.
M3
and some
half nuts.
Half nuts. So
what in the world is a half nut?
I don't know.
Is it a thin nut?
I think it might be. Oh, there's some set screws in there. I do not want to tip this over. Oh, geez. Let's get rid of this. So what I'm thinking is that I actually want to maybe, I think I might want to use lock nuts.
I don't think you do.
This is the drag chain we're working on right now.
Looking at those pictures, they're kind of just calling half nuts the non-locking nuts.
Okay. And it looks like I need the short end for the bedside. Oh, short end is the other side here. Okay. Oh man, this thing
Justin
means
must have got done with his homework because he's joined us in chat.
This thing means business. Oh, okay. What I'm doing here is I am just
pop the chain off the mounts.
I'm just taking it off the two of them on the whole thing. Now, from my understanding, I think it said here I have to flip this one around.
For this step, that might make sense. You might want to put it back on when you go to attach it to the bed, just for alignment of the chain.
Well, that's why what I've done is I've popped it off and then put back on one link.
Yeah.
All right, so this side, we're gonna go screw.
Justin is living the life of a 17-year-old boy.
He just woke up.
Correct. And still hasn't done his homework.
But it's also the West Coast, so that's not...
11 a.m. on a Saturday?
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable for a 17-year-old, actually. Oh, jeez. Okay. This is going to require a little bit of coordination, and
This is
hopefully
going to
no
require
curse
a
words.
lot of bit of coordination. Looking at these pictures and how you have to line this stuff up, this is a rough one.
I said, hopefully no curse words. Don't start with me, Screws. Trying to keep this PG. Nailed it.
First try.
So, what's being done here is the... oh, jeez, that's terrible. The drag chain has to attach to the acrylic. So there's some small screws, small hardware, fiddly business. Oh, it's in my hand. Holy shit. And of course, nothing's magnetic.
This would have been significantly more difficult with the side panels on.
Yes, indeed it would have, Bob. So these are just fitting through a slot in the back panel. The slot,
this is where having the ball-ended tool might be causing you a bit of extra frustration.
Or not. Oh, got it. So then on the back, it is washer
and
nut. And I happen to have a set of hex nut drivers. Oh yeah, that's good. Yet again, don't want to crush it or harsh its mellow in any way here. This is just a drag chain. It's not like it's...
Yeah, there shouldn't be a lot of force there.
I think just a good old-fashioned snuggin'. There she goes.
So,
okay.
just to ease your pain slightly.
Yes.
While we're chatting here, having a good time building your tool changer.
Okay.
Duff is working on wiring in his Durango.
Oh.
And apparently he just spent a good half a minute trying to figure out why the wires wouldn't solder before he realized the iron wasn't on.
Aha. You know, we've all been there.
These things happen.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of tool changers, Brad just joined us.
Mr. Brad. Brad is a friend of ours and considered the youngest person to ever build a tool changer. Although I made a joke yesterday that maybe I'll have Matthew come down and tighten up the last couple screws, and then a 7-year-old has built a tool changer.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Don't need Brad getting too ahead of himself here.
That would truly be a test of skill for a child that young.
Mm-hmm. So this nut driver that I have here,
Oh, I see. You're shortening up the handle.
what I did is I just loosened the set screw and dropped the shaft down. And I'm hoping... Ah, dang it. Too much.
So that's where that little RC car T-handle nut driver that I've got just
But
works.
no handle. It does fit in there. And I'm able to just... Because again, I'm not trying to drive this thing home like it owes me money.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nylon thing with a...
Yeah, it's bolting two plastic parts together. It does not take a lot of force.
No. All right. And realistically, you don't want to use a lot of force because you just don't want to. It's not good for things. Let's put it back to the...
Geek Tech taking a break from the cleaning to check on how your new cat bed is doing.
Haha! Joke's on you. The cats aren't allowed in this room. I don't play that game.
So here's a question for you, Jordan.
Okay.
The next steps refer to putting the side panels on.
Hard pass.
Do you want to prep the panels for when they do go on now, or just set the whole thing aside?
Oh, like...
Put the T-nuts in and get it set up so that all that's left is to snap them in and move on.
I don't know. I will be taking this drag chain off later because feeding wires through a drag chain is a giant pain in the behind. But otherwise, that's on. Oh, wow, that is snug. That's good. Okay.
So let's skip 2 steps. The next 2 steps are installing the side panels and installing the back panel. Those are two steps.
Hard pass.
The very first step of the next chapter is remove the back panel.
Yeah.
If we don't put it on, we don't have to take it off.
Correct. And the next step is... Oh, sorry. This one's mounting the Bowden.
You're looking for 2A.
Yeah. All right.
Now they say to put it on its face.
I think that's also because you're dealing with side panels. If I can reach through to do the work...
Well, here's the other thing. And the reason why what they're doing might make more sense. If you're taking an electronic component and setting it on the plastic and letting the screws drop through, gravity does a lot of the work for you for holding things in place.
Okay.
Which then frees up a hand.
I'll tell you what. Let's leave it for now. Let's see how we do with this otherwise. I need 8 nylon washers. They're over here.
Photo says it's like watching WRC without the cars.
I don't
What is
understand.
WRC?
Like, I know WKRP Cincinnati.
That was a good show.
That was an old show, yeah. All right. So I've got some things. I need M4 by 8 millimeter button head screws.
And M4x6 button head screws.
Okay, one moment. I'm just going to organize my screws here. Uh-huh.
"23 folks hanging out with us."
All right. Time for screw gauge.
And one of them is a Fernando.
That King buoy just finished up for Josh was fantastic.
He also modeled a droid from one of the new Star Wars series for the same hardware project.
Did he actually get that done?
He's still working on it, but it's almost.
Okay. Okay.
Brad, that is pencil holders for Renee's coloring community.
Why don't you talk about that for a minute, Bob? Share.
I don't have a finished one here because they've all been distributed.
Or are currently in use while Renee's streaming and you're not allowed to go in there.
Fair enough. However, what we've got, here's a partial set of a simple base and some holders. The metal rod goes through to hold them. You put your pencils in the top. They sit in the thing. When you want them, they tip forward and you can grab your pencils out. Pretty simple stuff.
You say simple, I say cool.
In what I'm sure is not a unique opinion, I view my own work as basic.
Imposter syndrome. It's a real thing. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I have just organized myself some hardware.
Geek Tech, that model is my design, and it's available on Prusa printers.
All right, so now we're saying do some fiddly business. It's like ring toss for ants. Ooh, all right, ring toss for ants complete.
Hooray!
Fit the standoffs to the electrical panel as shown. The electrical panel is over here, I think. You know what I'd like is if I could expand these drawings. That's for power supply. This is the electrical panel. You know what? Those look like a thing.
Let's see if we can get this model. Somebody asked. All right, thank you, Thaneth. On the pencil holder, there's two variations on Prusa printers. One where each holder holds 8 pencils, and one where they only hold 4.
That's cool. Also, if you're not using Prusa printers,
What's wrong with you?
Stop being bad. I think this got to go here. Yeah, I think that's got to go there. Unfortunately, there's not really a...
Well, if you're doing the ones for the duets, then, and you're looking at it on the back, it looks like they will be 8 holes on the left side.
Yeah, it's just a problem of... I am like the worst camera person on earth right now.
But you have to be able to access the screws.
I do. You know what? It's more for the hangout than anything. One Duex board. One Duet 3D board. Ooh. One shiny Duet 3 sticker. Although this is a Duet 2, so I don't know why. It is a Duet 2 Wi-Fi, Brad. Part of my amazing prize was I got to choose. And of course I chose Chimeras.
Direct drive Chimeras.
Direct drive Chimeras. Which is actually cheaper in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to slide this down, Bob. Maybe that might help, because then you can see my face a little more.
Is that really a help?
With friends like these, who needs swear words?
Speaking of friends, Fred has stopped by to check in on us.
Now, one trick I will share that I learned from, the thing is, from Renee's videos, is fold your ribbon cable like this, so that you've got
a dip in the middle.
A dip in the middle, instead of just trying to go straight up with a big hoop at the top. You do a dip in the middle, and then you're able to plug in
which
the other.
Is how it's pictured in the instructions as well.
Yeah, there's no call out for it. And I will also remind people that if you are dealing with circuit boards, do it smart, do it careful.
Static is a thing. If you are in a high static environment, use a grounding strap.
Yep.
Keywords: high static environment.
The Duex goes on top. That can't be right. Is that right?
Looks like the one with... So in their pictures, one of their modules has an Ethernet port. That one's in the lower position.
So that would be the Duet. And just looking at the standoffs, the sizing. Oh, Bob, I think I've... Huh.
Do the holes not line up?
I'm in the wrong holes.
Okay.
These things are easily repaired.
So, not that this feedback ever gets back to E3D, but this would be a stage where a highlight of which holes to use for which boards would be useful.
Mm-hmm. Sure would.
Richard, you're not allowed to be offended by anything. It's in the rules.
Yeah, because I believe that these are. Oh wow. Okay. This ribbon cable is like 10 feet longer than it needs to be.
The way that they've got it shown after it's mounted is they've tucked the excess underneath the boards.
Yep. The only thing is, okay. Okay. I understand. I know exactly what I've done, and
Okay.
I blame no one but myself. I gravitied myself into a corner.
Okay. Brad, it's not a matter of defending. It's a note of a potential improvement.
Correct. It does make life easier when you know exactly what to do. Because there is some extra holes. I mean, it's because of the universal nature of this.
Which is beautiful. So it's not a criticism, it's a suggestion. How about that?
But that's just where maybe some updated or more detailed pictures.
And that's the thing with stuff like this is it's constantly evolving.
Changing. When this was created, direct drive Chimeras was not an option.
So keeping up on all of the changes, it'd be a full-time job for somebody.
Okay. So these little M6 washers, or M6 nut button heads, use the nylon washers. Now I've fixed diagonal corners from each one, and I'm just gonna put and I just did it without the washer, so I don't do that with all of them. But I'm doing these ones now with the washer as we go. Oh, the instructions are fantastic, Brad. It's just simple little call outs like that can save people headache. not having a rotating table can sometimes make your life a little easier too, because it doesn't move every time I try to attach it.
So I wonder if maybe you, in version 2 of your rotating assembly table,
A locking
you
mechanism?
include a pin in a corner to lock it in place when you don't want it to move.
Mm-hmm. Now you're thinking.
That's what I do. I come
How's
up
that?
with ideas that I can throw out in a second and a half that make a week and a half worth of work for somebody else.
How's that ribbon look in there? I don't know. Can you see it? I can't see it too well.
I can kind of see it. It looks like it's tucked in fairly well.
Yeah. Feels pretty good. I'll spin this around in just a second for some glamour shots. Yeah, I gotta get a little bit of water, maybe a cookie. So if it's all right with you, we might end up going a little bit longer than 3 hours.
Sure.
Because my wife and children's went over to my mother-in-law's house. She has one of these really big sunshade canopies that got installed this year in the backyard. Oh, like, where am I? It just makes life incredibly comfortable back there. Like, big backyard, like a decent sized backyard, not giant or anything, but there's no trees in the area. It's a bit of a newer subdivision. It's only maybe at best like a 10-year-old subdivision. So there's not a lot of big trees for shade, especially into the backyard area. This big triangular shaped canopy really made a difference, but it takes 2 people to take it down. So my darling wife has gone to assist with that.
So Rain says that you really need a sturdy surface to put it on. The moving mass is pretty big with the Mera tools. So when it's printing, it has a very stable home where that packing material from the original box is. It's just the assembly
process. This is a 2x4.5 inch MDF built frame that then has 1/2 inch or 10 mil EVA foam panels on top, and can handle. Well, I stood on it to put up this filament storage box I designed and built. So we're talking. I'm a big boy. good. I think a good 230 at the very least. And I don't remember if I had 2 legs. No, I had 1 leg. No, did I? 2 legs? 1 leg? I don't know. Okay, check that out. That's sexy, huh? That's nice.
That's nice.
We're gonna take just a moment.
And yes, Geek Tech, over-engineering is important. Especially if you're not the one doing the work. It's a fairly accurate running joke that it's what I do. I make other people do more work.
All right, sorry about that.
Cookies matter.
All right. Tim Tams, man, those are life. So now we are on to the PSU. And with the PSU, it says to apply the Duet sticker to the PSU. I'm going to pass. I don't know where I'm going to put the stickers yet.
Look at you failing to follow the instructions. What am I going to do with you?
1 power supply. You know what I think we might be able to do, because we're doing some more fiddly stuff. We don't need the whole thing. How's that? That looks like a thing.
Brad would like to inform you that if you don't apply the Duet sticker to the PSU, the device will not power on.
You know what, Brad? Challenge accepted. All right. What if I applied? Oh, that would be a. Let's not do that. I found this sticker sitting on my desk.
Lots of ideas, all of them bad.
I don't think applying a Slice Engineering sticker is the way to be. Ooh, I got a Fernando Hernandez sticker I can put on there. We're gonna leave it.
I think if you're going to apply stickers at this stage, they have to be the Pirate Monkey.
Well, let's take a look at what's in the boxes here, because there might be enough stickers. There is enough stickers. I have two shiny Duet powered stickers. So you know what, Brad? For you, we're doing it.
So does it say, do they both say Duet 3 or does one of them say Duet 3D?
One says, powered by Duet 3, and one says powered by Duet 3D.
So the 3D one is the one that's supposed to go on the power supply.
If we're going to be technical.
Listen, when you're going for correct, technically correct is the only way to go.
If we're going to be correct. Now, this is the part that's kind of funny. And I feel like this is just a marketing thing, a mistake, maybe. I don't have a Duet 3. That's a Duet 2. So that says running Duet 3. It's fine. This printer right here is a Duet powered as well. But let's do it. Let's do that. Power supply. Fresh power supply.
Richard would like to remind you that you can just line voltage straight to the Duet.
Oh, no. Oh, hang on. I know Grant, I think, has taken off to go do his stream right now.
He is running currently live with Aura.
But there's the peel. Now, for the all-important, put it on straight, dummy.
Don't forget your calibrated squares.
All right, Brad.
Just for you, buddy. Taylor came back to our stream and scrolled back to see those printed panels and approves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get back to those in a second here. One thing we have to do that is a very important step.
Select your voltage. North American voltage, please.
I'll take the 115, thank you. And let's get back to the game. All right, I am looking for, not putting that up there, M4 by 12 button head screws. I think those are these right here. It's M4 by 10. 10.
Lee Smith's Workshop. Good afternoon.
Here is where those are M4 by 16.
These screws were too little. These screws were too big.
I've got a copious amount of M4 by 10. Oh, this is going to be a thing. And this is where, again, not a criticism, but a constructive suggestion. Put these kind of things all... I found them, thankfully. But some of these things should be just organized in a baggie.
Yeah. Well, that's where the Prusa kit comes in handy, where the individual steps have their hardware pre-bagged. Either that route or the small plastic organizer with everything marked. I think both are good options.
So the LDO V0 kit that you can get at sparta3d.ca, it has little baggies inside, and each baggie is labeled with what's inside the baggie. So M4 by 12 or M3 by 2s or whatever.
The LDO bear kits are that way as well.
And then what I do is I take one of those basic hardware organizers, like you said, and I put them all in there, neat and tidy for the next setup. Oh, we need some washers.
I don't think the kit is disorganized. I think it just has a little bit of room for fine-tuning.
And you know what? Maybe it was my dumbass pouring it all out on the table. But there was only like 4 bags of hardware. I will tell you, though, that whatever lacking we want to say there is here in the hardware department, when we get to the electrical, it's amazing. Simply amazing, Bob. Because every wire pre-done, pre-terminated, pre-organized, pre-everything.
Quick note, we've mentioned them a couple of times, the sparta3d.ca.
Yes.
You happen to be in the Canada lands. They are not exclusive to Canada.
Correctamundo. Okay. As they are an international shipping company, if you need it, they will ship it. All right, I can see here where laying it on its back would have a great benefit for this step.
Yes and no. I kind of think that the way that they spec'd it out in the instructions allows for the spacer to get knocked off and out of alignment when you're trying to line up the power supply with it. Versus put the screw through the hole, put the spacer on the screw, and then put the power supply in place.
Well, that's only going to work for this screw here, because I can.
The other ones are going to be a problem.
I can't pivot the machine out of the way for this next. This
afternoon.
Bed.
Never let the machines win, Mike.
This bed is like, it's right in the way.
Can you lower it more or raise it up higher?
I don't know. Do we want to go higher, above the head, under the head? I don't know. Let's go do this.
Or just deal with it.
Never let the machines win. And that's the key to this whole thing right now. It's never letting the machines win. You may want to let them win, but don't. Don't do it. Oh, you little sneaky. Sneaky. How can this possibly go bad?
Are you looking for a list or?
know what, Bob? I am. I really am.
The Letterman list of how things can go bad.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, lose a leg.
Not so bad.
A couple of those washers are probably going to stay stuck, so be careful when you open it back up. Nice.
Holy!
A couple of those panels might fall out.
Yep. Don't drop the very expensive tool changer. Thank you. Oh, good job, me. Way to go, me. Thanks, me.
I'd give you a hand if I could, but
It's okay, Dom. I don't want you to get up. It's fine. You're right, though. This is very easy for things to get knocked around.
Mike's giving us number 9 on the Letterman list. Stripped Phillips machine screws.
Oh, the stress. Pressure. We talked to a few people in the last little while about, tips and suggestions.
It's a really good angle for those panels.
Right?
Yeah.
Drop the link. Now, I can tell you that these panels are one of a kind, custom made. You ain't getting them. They're mine. But the work that Taylor does, the designs that he comes up with, the angles that I cover up so you can't see, these are them. Those are the panels in there. And what's really awesome, because of the filament choices and the layout, is they shine really nice. It's very cool.
Yeah, Brad, we do have a medium strength Loctite that was used for attaching the bed already.
Correct. We have M4 by 16 screws next. So I've got orange Loctite. It's a medium grade.
Do you recall which site you found those panels on?
Those panels. Which panels?
The ones that you customized.
It was on Thingiverse. And I'm sorry for swearing on stream.
So, Brad, you're going to have to go to Yegi and search for Toolchanger floor panels yourself. Then customize them yourself. And wouldn't you know it, I think you've got a 3D printer or two. You can make them yourself.
Mm-hmm. I think. Sorry for rifling through screws, by the way. That was not my intention. That's the other reason for laying them all out.
Yeah.
So you can see what you got a little bit better. Two M4 by 16. Okay. 2 M4 by 16, not 4. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of. I've got a side table over here. I'll clear off the top and just lay out all the hardware bags so that I can go straight to the one that I need to get the stuff from. And
Yeah, the searching through the hardware is not my.
and the little plastic organizers that a lot of hardware comes with, I keep those.
This is not my favorite thing to do right now. All right, we are looking for one, sir. Oh, that's SSR. And we have one nicely packaged Omron SSR.
Solid state relay.
The most solid state. Now, where does it go? Goes beside the duet.
Nothing like the old days when all of our relays were solenoids.
Position the SSR as shown. I would prefer... Okay, it goes on the bottom. It's hard to get an angle with some of these pictures.
Sure, but you can see the venting there in the aluminum panel across the bottom.
And I understand load side versus non-load side. So
The SSR seems to be marked input and load.
Yep. Well, and it looks
egg
like
cartons used for camping would also be good. We did a retail space a year or so ago that used to be a nail salon. So I've got a bunch of the little plastic trays that they use in the nail salon. Those work really well.
I'll give you one better. 4040 calibration cubes for doing extrusion multiplier calibration.
I'm sorry. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I understand you don't have to calibrate things, but when you have a real printer, you have to calibrate your extrusion multipliers.
Sorry. What?
Sorry, are you speaking to me in Prusa?
I'm laughing at you in orange.
And so the calibration cube
Works good for holding this hardware as well.
Yeah, it sure does. Sometimes.
Brad, you've designed a model for rear mounting your spools. That is absolutely something that you should publish. In this particular case, he's got top mounted spools with a already existing filament organizer.
Yeah. And this is kind of where this motion platform system thing is delightful in that you can kind of take it where you want to take it.
Even if you want to take it to the floor.
Correct. Now, my nut driver, unfortunately, does not fit in the channel here for this device, so I'm going to use an old trick. So what I'm doing right now is on the top where the nut is for the SSR, I don't have enough space to put my nut driver in there. So I'm taking a small flathead screwdriver and kind of inserting it against the leading edge of the nut. Again, I'm not trying to crank these down to no man's land here. This is just to, just to get it stuck here. It's a solid state relay, it's not. Okay, wow. That was the end of
Step 2A.
Manual 2A. I don't know what step 2A.
So now we're up to 3B.
You'll have to excuse me a moment. I didn't think we'd get this far. Manuels.
So, recommendation time.
Yeah.
since the next step is tool assembly, Gigantor there in the middle of the screen might need to
Yeah.
relocate.
Let's do that. Excuse my rear end a moment.
Brad shared a picture of the spool holder that he's designed. It looks like it'd be really good if you didn't already have the overhead storage, or, as he pointed out, for stuff like Ninja Flex, it might be really good too.
You know, Brad, I am nothing if not flexible. That's a lie. I'm not very flexible at all.
Matt1 UK, you've missed the building of the motion assembly.
So we have one entire chunky motion system.
You could almost call it chonky.
Oh, I could call it something. Holy jumping, that's heavy.
Jumpin' G wheelie curve. Looking at the small picture, that fits that space just right.
That fits the space dang perfectly. Wow. That's gonna be cool, man. Yeah, I dig that for sure. That's awesome. Just reinsert some things back into the frame to keep them safe. And now, sorry. That happened.
It did. There we go.
That's a thing.
Printed parts.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
Do the Chimeras come pre-assembled? Not the Chimera tool head, but just the Chimera.
I'll show you in just a second. You're right, though. I really need some way of like stopping this from rotating. I feel like I lost. That works a little better.
A little bit of friction to keep it from spinning freely.
Yep.
Or a wrench in the works.
Correct. I do have to just readjust a little bit. I apologize. I did not plan for this stage of things. But it happened, and we're here, and we're doing it.
Read and follow Chimera assembly instructions. I guess that's an important piece to throw in there.
Oh yeah, just ruin everything by moving one thing. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Good enough. we are. If you've made it this far, thanks.
I watch too many Joel videos.
Let's just start with one.
The question becomes, do you have the Hemera assembly manual?
Well, sir, I do and I don't.
Okay, well, there is a link to it in the Toolchanger manual.
I have my brain from having assembled a few. I've also, I don't know if anyone's ever seen a Hemera the way they come, like packaged really well. This is part of the fixings kit that needs to be utilized. I believe this hardware is the kit Hemera TC, so that bag. So that's where some revision has happened. This bag has numbers of what's inside of it and everything. There is a little board. We'll get to that later. Toolchanger dock. Get to that later. Toolchanger plate later. A heater cartridge. A different fan. A part cooling fan. And this is the Hemera kit here. Now be careful when you cut that seat sticker. Because inside,
That's a lot of stuff.
there's another sticker. So we have more stickers. Always good. So this is the Hemera kit as you would buy it if you were just buying a Hemera. So you would get it in the package, everything as is. The other stuff that was in the baggie, like this extra heater and stuff, is from the Toolchanger assembly. So we'll put that stuff over there. From this baggie of stuff, I need the thermistor. I don't need any of that anymore. So all of that is spares for my other life.
Fernando, that's a fan for the hot end and a fan for the part cooling.
Yes, and I've lost the
And an
chat.
extra
I'm
fan.
sorry. So there is, with the Hemera, when you buy a Hemera kit, it comes with heater cartridge, thermistor extension wire, hot end fan, motor cable, V6 block, silicone sock, 0.4 millimeter nozzle, and throat, and some thermal paste. Additional screws and hardware and Allen keys to mount it as needed, including some special square nuts, which we need. So we're not going too far with those. A little tiny piece of PTFE to stick in the top. We don't need hardly any of this stuff because the Toolchanger uses an entirely different setup. So we don't need that cardboard. Get rid of that. We don't need that. We need this. And this, and then the thermistor that came with the Toolchanger. Okay. In this box is the goods. And that is your E3D Hemera. With some very important callouts and literature on how to get the manual. Also, what not to do when it comes to over tightening screws and stuff inside of it. But we can ignore that for right now.
Very much use the right sized hardware.
Mm-hmm. So what we're after is this hardware right here. And we're going to need some from this baggie.
Yeah, Karen, Joel is the if you've made it this far. Brian is the if you're one of the wonderful people who've made it this far.
Correct. If you've made it this far, you're awesome. Don't copyright my stuff. 5 highs. See you later. Okay, so in a Hamera kit, you get 2 of these little tiny grub screws, and I wish I could zoom in more so you can see, but then you kind of lose.
In the V6 kit, you get those as well.
Yeah, so you get 2 sets because they die. Set screw for the heater cartridge, just set it in. Or the, not the heater cartridge.
Thermistor.
The thermistor. And that
Then
goes
there's
on
the clamping screw for the heater cartridge.
Yeah, and that is the underside of the block. The top side should just have the hole. Then you need a nozzle, which we're going to thread the nozzle all the way in. And then we're going to back it out half a turn. Maybe not half a turn, sorry. How about I do a real half instead of torsioning the whole thing? Okay, half a turn out. Then you take Mr.
Heat break.
Throat heat break, and you thread it in till it is snug. We're going to play with this in a little bit. We may have to adjust it just a bit. Now, we need to take Mr. Paste.
Brad is saying something about an old logo for the Hamera.
These are not the new branded logo.
You would think that's likely to be a rolling change. Anytime
that is
a company,
very new change.
Anytime a company changes branding, it takes time. You don't just go around and throw out all the stuff that you've got that's branded.
So
you let it cycle through.
Yeah, I'd have to go look, but I'm more than certain I have a Hermes. So when the Hamera first came out,
yeah,
the package, actually the box does say Hermes, I believe. There was a problem with the naming, so they had to make an adjustment. Okay, so what we do with that is I'm just using the block and my fingers to tighten that all up in there. I'm going to need a 7mm wrench, so we'll take a 7mm wrench. How about not an 8mm, but a 7mm? Now I can. So with that snugged up like that, I was able to just tighten in that heat break with a little bit of the paste on there. And as you can see, like I have a little tiny bit gluing out, but that's it. Nothing major. Now, if I'm not mistaken,
we got a lot of early adopters in here. Quite a few of the folks say that they have Hermes. I think that you want that pointing the other direction, according to the pictures that I'm seeing.
Yeah. This is where I got to just kind of play with it a little to get the... Ta-da!
Ta-done!
The only thing is... Alright, where... So I kind of would have liked... Like, I get that there needs to be instructions for the Hamera specifically, but it'd be nice just to see...
To see what?
Just the direction for which way to put the wires in.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the Toolchanger instructions.
I'm looking at those now. Yeah.
The Chimera instructions as well?
No, just looking at the Toolchanger ones.
Okay.
Now, I put a little bit of paste on this.
What was that about?
Bob's Toolchanger skipped, or MMU skipped a step.
Which is odd, because I'm not doing an MMU print.
So I like to put just a bit of thermal paste on the thermistor. Make sure it's flush with the far side, and then just give it the ever so slightly snug. You don't have to crank that down. It will punch the...
No, you just wanted to keep it from falling out.
Yeah. And then again, this stuff, like, this stuff's not necessary in some cases. But I smear a little bit on using
Makes you feel good.
Thing. It just helps. It actually helps more with getting it apart later than anything. So I just lightly kind of greased it. Now, what I remember reading is these wires, you want to kind of bend them in a certain direction. So we're dealing with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point, Brad. Not only will over-tightening those screws damage that cartridge by putting a hole in it, but it will also deform the cartridge, making it out of round, making it more difficult to ever remove in the future.
There's a little bit to be said for making it a slight bit out of round so that it doesn't wiggle.
Correct.
But the paste helps with that. And then you're left with the idea of you don't want to crank these things to the moon because heat is totally a factor and gets in there. Now, I have to use the clear fan and my least favorite two Phillips head screwdrivers. Using my Prusa screwdriver.
Nice.
Which is unfortunately too large. Great.
Do you have the blue Prusa screwdriver?
No, I have my Klein.
Okay.
10-in-1. And I want the wires to the top.
Of note, there is a fan airflow direction as well.
Yes. The fan should be facing you. Like the blades. I'm just taking a look for a quick second at something else real quick here. I'm just double checking. Another set of instructions real quick here. Okay. All right. Although, did he put that fan on yet? Okay, you know what? We're going to do it a little bit differently here. Not actually going to put that on just yet.
Really?
Yeah. Like I said, I've watched a ton and a half of Rene Jurak's videos on assembling this thing and using the Just the way he installs it on there is a little bit different. So.
Okay.
And it helps with wire routing and planning.
Okay. Brad's going to run away and do some homework, so that's important.
Good for him. All right, what do we need? So it says here, fix the bracket, but it doesn't say what size screws to use. E3D. All right, you ready for some good stuff, Bob?
Sure. Printed parts.
That's a box of printed parts.
That is a box of printed parts.
So we have, I printed more of these than necessary. I have some custom brush holders that I've modified for the brushes I was able to get my hands on in Canada Land. So we also have these colored rings. Now we are using some slightly modified parts here.
Okay.
Some friends of mine who are Toolchanger users have reached out and said, hey man, you're going to be building a Toolchanger. That's awesome. These are some different parts you maybe want to use. And so I have slightly different parts than the average bear. Sorry for the noisy rustling, but it's life.
Well, that's printed builds. When you go through printed parts, it's going to be noisy.
Is that Thierry? Mr. TD3D. It's good, buddy. It's good. The build is going, I think, quite well. Bob, what do you think?
Well, we're farther than we thought we'd be. So hopefully that's a sign of things going well and not
poor planning and execution.
I would say it would be hilarious if at the end the whole thing just rattled itself into a billion pieces.
Wow. You would do that to your Toolchanger?
It would be hilarious. It would also be extremely disheartening. But those two things don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Okay, I've just quickly organized the parts up so that it'll be easier for me to grab them.
How does that go? Tragedy plus time equals comedy?
Yeah, tragedy plus time equals comedy. Get out of here. I think I need to use these little screws. I feel like these screws are the ones to use. Because these might be... Oh yeah, that's way too big. Now for a special screwdriver I got from one of my favorite places to shop. I don't know if I should say it. I can't tell you my secrets, Bob.
I'm going to say it starts with an S and ends with a part of E3D.
Dang it. You know my secrets. For something like this, I like to just pop the handle off the screwdriver.
And just use the bit, yeah.
And just use the bit. Sorry, I'm going to try to get better at showing you what's going on. Now, one of these little Hamera square nuts slides in the butt end there.
Is that screw short enough?
Yeah, these are all the very short. Pretty sure these are M3 by 6. Yeah, M3x6, and the maximum size you're supposed to use is like an 8, I think.
It depends on the printed part for sure, but
You don't want to go into that thread more than a few millimeters. Like it's not.
yeah. What you don't want is that thread to go through the nut and push on the backside into the Hemera, because that'll break out the tabs that hold it all together.
You know what I am going to do though?
Things.
Things and stuff and things. I'm going to deviate a slight bit here.
Oh no.
I'm going to put a little Loctite.
Oh.
Just a dab.
To do ya.
Because this is a key section of the assembly, right? Like this tool head has to go in and out 2.5 billion times. Again, we're just like the lugs on these, they got better from the initial release, but if you put too big of a screw in that hole, you're gonna blow out the caps.
Those. Yeah.
And all of these parts are printed in Prusament Galaxy Black PETG. The colored rings, which are going to be the tool identifiers, there's too many of them, obviously, are printed in Sparta Sparkle ABS. I don't know if the sparkle is going to show up or not. It's, it is what it is sometimes with the lighting, the focus, and I don't have autofocus on, so we don't keep getting blurred out here.
There will be, we know for a fact, glamour shots later on the social medias.
Oh, and if you're not following me on Twitter, I don't know what you're doing with your life other than having a good time. All right. Now we need the tool plate. Did I just do that completely wrong, Bob? I did. I really did. I have a modified version of these parts that was designed.
Yeah.
That uses M3 nuts in the holes to hold everything. I was a smart guy and didn't get the hardware out.
Well, you weren't planning on getting this far either.
No, I really wasn't. I hoped. I dreamed.
Let's keep telling yourself that.
So not to take away from anything else with the kits or anything like that, like I'm just using M3 hardware that I have. These parts were designed by Adam Hale. I believe he modified these, and they just allow you to have
a little bit more positive interface.
Yeah, well, your mating surfaces are not relying on printed part strength. You're dealing with the words are eluding me because the nuts keep falling.
You've got mechanical fastening instead of plastic.
Yes.
Metal connection points.
Yes.
Nuts, bolts, compression.
English. Got it.
Words are hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are letting the hardware do the work instead of just the printed part. which is supposed to give me better tool docking and undocking and repeatability, less wear and tear on my printed parts. Because although there is quite a lot of aluminum in this, the bracket that is attaching the next part to the hot end here is printed.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So these, okay. I'm looking at the instructions here for the assembling the Hemera tools,
mm-hmm.
and it just says affix the tool plate to the bracket. What
Correct.
screws? What hardware am I using? I don't know. I think I can figure it out because I'm a smart cookie.
Well, it looks like you're going to be using 4 countersink screws.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the big thing with all of this assembly thing is keep the Loctite away from the acrylic. All right, that's the bad. Hey, great, that's not working. Mm-hmm.
Are the screws not long enough to get in there? And
They are not biting, no.
Hmm.
Because it's dealing with a different part. I think I might need to use longer screws. I'm hoping gravity can kind of help me out here.
Pokon has joined us.
A wild Pokon. Nope, that is not biting. Okay. These are 3 by 6.
Brad, you said you were going to go do your homework.
Get out of here, Brad. Get.
Not that we don't like your input, but school's important.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know what to do with ourselves with Pokon and Karen in here.
Uh-oh. Behave yourselves.
Did that next size up not fit either?
No, I have more hardware. That's not a problem.
Well,
I just don't want to be...
because we're not using standard parts and following the directions specifically, we move tool assembly offline.
Yeah, it might be the case. I'm just checking something out real quick here.
Bugman 140 has popped by to say hello.
Ah, Mr. Daimlo. Good day to you, sir. Good day to you. Yeah, I'm wondering if I got to do that. I wonder if I have to take this offline a little bit for that one.
For the tool assembly, I mean, you know, the non-standard parts really throws a monkey wrench in things.
Yeah. There we go. I just had to find the...
Yeah, Fotis, you missed it. The whole thing's assembled in printing.
Correct. Correctamundo. You know what I'm thinking, Bob?
Yo.
I'm thinking it's been 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I work on some of this fiddly stuff, you know, behind the scenes here, and pick it back up later with more stuff. Just because I got to just get these brackets mounted.
I think somebody may have mentioned something like that a couple of days ago.
I never intended on having this thing running today. So I think that's the plan. I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with this just a little bit and see what I can do. And if you are not, well, you know what? All these people know where to find us. They know where to find when we're going to go do this right now.
One quick thing before we run away. I know Pocon's asking questions, Karen, but if Pocon wants the answers to the hashtag Bob was robbed, he'll have to go back and watch the beginning.
That's right. Don't spoil it for Pokey. Yeah.
But yes, everybody knows where to find us.
Everyone knows where to find us. If you're not following me on Twitter or subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel. You'll know when I go live next. I don't know when that'll be.
Like button and the subscribe button and the button and the other button.
Oh, the bell button too.
All the buttons.
Right. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, lttstore.com, all those things. But what I'm going to say here is that we're going to run away. And I think we're going to head over to a Discord channel of some kind. And we're going to socialize. And we're going to build some printer stuff, I think, still while I monkey around. But I appreciate everybody being here. I really do.
Absolutely.
I don't know when the next one will be. It might be tomorrow. It might not be. I don't know. It might be just me. I don't know. We might do more in the evening. Ring the bell.
We'll see how it goes.
You got to be on the bell. So, and if you're just coming in and you've missed it, please hit the replay. It'll be up shortly. I think I told it to keep the chat and everything too, so you'll see all the fun stuff, the links to everything.
Fotis being a funny guy.
That's right. So, I think pause the jazz. We say thanks a ton for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
That's it.
That's it.